that reaction video when you got drafted went kind of viral. What kind of reactions do you got from, I guess, the Cardinals coaches or players that you've met, or just people in general?
Yeah, it was pretty awesome, deal for me and my family and my mom in the school. So we're super excited about it. It's something that you work for your whole entire life, and then, it all becomes real in one phone call. So we were definitely excited, very emotional. But on the phone call, I only thought it was me and the coaches, because I had no media, as you guys know there. I wanted to make it about, my family and friends. So whenever they released, I was like, man, that definitely wasn't our end, because we had no one there. But it was good. They know I was just excited to be there and, be a part of that program.
And the players you get to play with, Zaven, I mean, Chandler Jones, J.J. Watt, Budda Baker, it's about as stacked of a defense you can kind of join, huh?
Yeah, they're unreal. All those players on that defense, from top to bottom, and I'm excited to play with every single one of them, earn their respect, and just try and do my role, be a great role player, and do whatever's asked of me.
Have they talked to you about maybe your role yet? I mean, it's really early, but where do you kind of envision yourself if they haven't talked to you about that yet?
Just a linebacker right now, and that role may change, or it's still kind of up in the air as far as what we're doing. But I'm learning a lot of stuff right now. I've kept my nose in the books and just trying to figure everything out and soak it all in and just be ready.
Zaven, there was leading up to the draft, there was mentions of Arizona being interested in you. From your end, what were your impressions of them and thinking about that as a possibility for you?
So there was a lot of people coming at me from different ways before the draft. I was kind of like a mid to late guy, and kind of fit in a lot of different positions. So I had phone calls all the way up until the day of the draft. They stopped that Thursday. So, I knew Arizona was a big one for me. There was a couple others that were big. So it was kind of a crazy ordeal. Whenever all those picks that sometimes they were interested and sometimes they weren't, kind of move on. And, you're just excited to be where you're at. I love it in Arizona, and that was my number one. So that was my big one.
Hey, Zaven, Nathan asked you about that video, but I'm wondering if you could give us a little insight. What goes through your head when you are falling to your knees? I mean, I can't put myself there. So tell me what was going through your head in that moment.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, it's just something that you worked on countless hours, all the way from grade school. You play football, middle school, you play football, high school, you play football. You go to all these camps, you get offered, and then you go to college and you're still playing football. And you try and be at the highest level of football always, in high school, in college. And then now you reach the top of the mountain. It's just time to keep going. It's trying to just get over it, keep going up. So that's something that kind of runs through your mind all at once, that you've kind of made it, in a general sense. So that's something that was very surreal for me and my family.
Was some of it the relief, when you're seeing projections between 16 and wherever, I just wondered just how nerve-wracking is that to be surrounded by family? It feels like it's got to be the highest of highs, but also like this really nerve-wracking situation.
Yeah. So it's kind of like the competitiveness in guys, you get to compete, but, in the draft, everything's out of your control. So, whenever I compete, whether it's football or checkers or golf or whatever it is, I have somewhat of control. And, me competing in that and being picked earlier than guys or being picked later, you have zero control. Whatever happens, happens. So to be off the board earlier is something that's a sigh of relief. Your anxiety's gone, and, you get to sleep well that night.
You've talked a lot about setting goals for yourself, all the way through. What are the next goals for you?
Step in and be a successful member of the, organization there in Arizona. Try and do my role, whatever's asked of me, try and do my best of my ability, to earn my spot and earn my respect no matter what role it is. And once I've done that, earn the respect of the veterans and, try and be the best player on the field at all times. It's just something that you got to try and do at all times and move on from there.
I
How do you feel
imagine,
about wearing number 25? And were you just trying to get a number as close as you could to 23, or, take me through what you were, how that process goes?
I'm not a big like ritual person on numbers. Like, like of course, if 23 was available, I would have picked it. But a veteran had it, and that was his number. And the next available was 25, so I was like, yeah, sure, I'll take it. It's just another number, and I'm excited to rep it.
I'm
Did you
sure
reach out to
it's-
Alfred about it, or did you just, take your own number, fine, move on?
Oh, to offer? Yeah, no, that's his number. That's his pride and joy. 23 was mine in college, and 25 is the new number for me in NFL. I'm excited to wear it.
I'm sure it was all pretty surreal, getting picked and celebrating and flying the next day over your high school field and everything. How long did it take you to kind of let it all sink in? And this is for real. I'm an NFL player. I got picked in the first round.
It sunk in whenever I stepped into the locker room. And then you see, Larry Fitzgerald, DeAndre Hopkins, Buda Baker, JJ Watt, Chandler Jones, Jordan Hicks, all the other guys on defense, Butler. And then you see who else was, a bunch of other guys on offense, and you're kind of like, okay, yeah, now we're here. So, and it's just going to become more surreal during OTAs, whenever that comes around. So I'm excited for that.
Zaven, they call it draft season for a reason. Everyone starts to pick things apart about you. How difficult was it to maybe turn some of that noise off? And was there one thing that you heard about yourself you're like, no, that's not true at all? What was the entire process like?
I've had people say I'm extremely slow, extremely fast. I've had some people say I'm not even 6 foot. And I'm like, yeah, well past 6 foot. But it's just, it's just noise. You don't let it, like I said a long time ago, it's just ink. You don't let it get in your eyes, good or bad. So it's something that you just got to look past. Everyone's going to criticize you or judge you for something. So it's just something that you just got to look past.
It's interesting to see the rise because you from your pro day to when you weighed in again at Indy, there was like 10-pound gain because everyone was shocked. It was like, whoa, he weighs 10 more pounds than what he did when he was at pro day. It was just funny to see kind of the reactions to that.
Yeah, it's something that, just people reacted unreal. And I remember like stepping on the scale there at the combine, and there's supposed to be probably a law, where that doesn't get leaked because of HIPAA, but I'm not sure how that got out there. I didn't tell anyone. So that got out there somehow, and not blaming the NFL or no one, but it did. So I was just like, I took it with a grain of salt. I was like, whatever happens, happens. But so that got out there somehow, but I was like, yeah, it's, what, that's it. Had a few big stakes after, my pro day and went on.
Hey, Zaven, you've talked before about people that have been influential and role models for you, but I'm curious, when you step up to that NFL level, as you were talking about before, are there, I know you don't want to go seeking out people that give you bad advice, but is there anybody you've encountered now in this next phase of your career that you started to, want to get those words of wisdom from?
Yeah, you got to look at everyone that's been there longer than you, whether it's 3 days or, 12 years. They have more experience than you. You got to learn from everyone who's there. Every bit of advice is, some type of advice. You got to take it in and then, to decipher for yourself what's good and what's bad. At the end of the day, you just hope what you came out with is good and the decisions you make are good. So they all have given me great advice. Kyler, JJ, a lot of guys, all the guys have texted me, all the coaches, player personnel, head coach, GM, owner, everyone's giving me great advice there. So it's been awesome.
Zaven, you watch round one of the draft, and like so many of those guys are from Alabama, that schools that have round one picks every year. TU, it's the first since 1977. What does it mean to you to have been able to, you contribute something to this program that gave you a shot? This is a big deal for TU.
Yeah, they gave me they invested in me a long time ago, and it was time to, pay up. I had a lot of work to do those 4 years, and, still striving to make Tulsa a good school. I mean, it's us, Unreal University. People ask me all the time if I'd rather have gone to Alabama or OU, OSU. I'd tell them no, I wouldn't change anything for the world. And it's not so much about football, it's about the family I've made here. My best friends, my coaches, my everyone here is, it's been unreal community. Everyone's treated like family, and you're not a number here. And that goes a lot farther than, you know, football. So it was unreal experience here.
I assume you've had a chance to interact with Coach Joseph a bit. What's that experience been like, and what do you expect to sort of how that experience to go with him being the coordinator?
Yeah, like his defense is, you know, the way him and Coach Davis, my coach, have taught me the defense. You know, so far it's been unreal. They've been awesome with what they do, and they're great coaches. I'm super excited to work with them in person. It's already been, you know, 110% plus for me, you know, and how they've coached me already. I'm just excited to work with them.
Anything else for Zaven?
You got a first big purchase lined up? The contract?
Yeah, I already got it, but I can't tell you guys what it is.
I don't know the pay schedule there, but have you seen a check? What goes through your mind when you see a check like that for the first time?
I don't know. I don't know. It's yeah.
What's your time?
Overwhelming, I'm sure.
David?
What?
What's your time frame right now when rookie camp and OTAs and stuff like that start? When are you headed out there?
I leave tomorrow for rookie minicamp, and then OTAs won't still start until I think after July, I believe. But between then and there, we'll be working out with the guys, and you know, I think being able to be around the team to start kind of that bond and, you know, that friendship and team camaraderie.
And you got to find a place to live and everything too, right?
Yep, got to do all that. So there's still a lot of stuff I'm kind of working through and trying to figure out. Got to be an adult, and so yeah, I'm house hunting right now, but you know, it's all a blessing. So.
Are you guys able to be together with COVID stuff? Is that, I mean, you talk about bonding. Are you guys able to do stuff together?
I don't know. You know, I don't know, as far as there's still a lot of stuff with the NFL that's iffy on what they're going to let certain people do, because the rules in New York are completely different than the rules than Arizona, and Arizona's completely different than Texas, you know, so they got to try. I think they're going to try and make everything fair for everyone. But, you know, as far as, you know, outside of the locker room, going to eat, going to get breakfast, stuff like that, I'm sure, yeah, that's where it'll be all the, you know, bonding will happen.
Zaven, you told me that either sophomore or junior year at Hominy, people were saying, hey, you know, you want to go to a bigger school, you want to go someplace else, and you said, no, I'm fine where I am. You also mentioned that people were saying, hey, would you have rather gone to Alabama or OU? And you said, no, I'm fine where I am. Where does that well-grounded nature come from?
Just, you know, I guess just being from a small school, and, you know, small school in Hominy, small school at Tulsa, we're fine just right where we are. We don't need to go and have what we call, you know, in some places, the brand that everyone knows. You know, sometimes it's better to go with the off-brand soap every once in a while. So that's what we like. That's how we are, blue-collar people. You know, working hard, and you know, we just stay busy, work hard, and then we'll reap the benefits of our efforts later. So that's something that we enjoy here, and I think that's something that's, you know, very religious around here.
Even that plane ride or jet ride, whatever it was, over Hominy, everyone kind of saw that video. What was that like, kind of seeing Hominy, your town, your school, and then I guess what kind of perspective did it give you, kind of new look on everything, and it kind of all connecting like differently for you when you were going over?
Yeah, because, you know, definitely that's where all the football for me started, all the way from third grade until, you know, senior year of high school, is playing on that field. And, you know, it definitely, during the plane ride, it was cool, but, you know, that huge plane, only at a couple thousand feet, banking at like 60 degrees, definitely put a hurt on me. it definitely put a hurt on me. So I was like, wow, yeah, we're good here. Let's go home. So I was ready but it was awesome though. Mr. Bidwell, like he's unreal. Like it's landed that huge plane like butter. It was great.
Any other questions for Zaven? Thank you, Zaven. Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.